Magazine! Hey everyone, and welcome back to Super Mario Odyssey action here, and we're taking on Sand Kingdom next. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, don't forget to do so if you like the video, but we're going to jump straight into the action here at Sand Kingdom. So to start with, we're just going to have a little explore out into the desert to see what's going on. And you can see kind of here's the Odyssey, and there is the main area of Sand Kingdom to the right hand side, but we're just going to have a little explore around here just to see what you can do out in the desert. And you can see there's little cactuses here for you to hit with your hat, and you get coins for each one that you smash over. So just kind of working our way around the desert, and the reason we're doing this is to try to demonstrate the importance of taking on the tasks in the game, because without taking on the tasks as they stand, you might lose out on being able to get to certain areas later on. So it's important to be able to take on those tasks, which we'll sort of demonstrate in a little bit. But this is one beautiful level set out in the sand dunes in Sand Kingdom. And to a large extent, it's kind of worth just walking around just to see how incredibly stunning it is. And there you can see some of the more advanced areas of the level in the distance there. You can see an upside down pyramid. You can see some ruins up ahead, which we'll get to in a little second. And you can see a little ledge there to the left hand side. And this again kind of reiterates the importance of sort of exploring the game just to see what there is. Now actually you can't really see a great deal, and it doesn't look like there's much for us to get. But there is a little plant here that we can see potentially to plant, so we nearly knock it over the edge. But you can kind of pick that up and move it around if you want to. So we don't actually use that in this this walkthrough itself, but maybe we'll come back and get to that at a later date. But in terms of the main tasks in this level, we definitely make it through the lion's share of them. So we're just trying to see what actually happens with this if you try and plant it in there, and you can see not a great deal happens. So you can't jump up with it, so you've got to kind of open the flower up and carry it up if you were going to use it. But you can see down there to the left kind of another one of those big glass blocks that kind of block your way, and this is one of the reasons why it's so important to take on the tasks, because with those blocks in the way, it means there's certain areas of Sand Kingdom that you just can't get to, and unless you kind of take on the tasks that you kind of have in the beginning part of the game and unlock these frozen areas. Look, you can see there's a little switch that we just can't get to at the moment. So unless you unlock the main areas of the game, you can't actually progress too far in the game itself within Sand Kingdom. So we're now just going to head back to the main area, to the kind of the main town area of Sand Kingdom, and there you can see another one of these strange blocks that we saw in Cascade Falls. So hopefully we'll come back and figure that out in a later walkthrough, but for now we're just going to head into the main town by doing just a little bit of cactus jumping onto the top of these buildings. And here you can see are the first purple coins that we pick up in Sand Kingdom. And you can see we're just kind of going around and trying to explore, and there is a huge amount to explore in this game. There is so much to pick up, and you can see there we've just randomly picked up our first moon, so it's on the top of that building in Sand Kingdom, and that's quite easy to pick up, but you need quite a few power moons to be able to fire up the Odyssey to move to your next kingdom. So we're going to take on quite a few power moons in this walkthrough video to help you get there as quickly as you can. There is just a huge amount of gameplay action to take in Sand Kingdom. There's so many little sort of little moons to pick up. There's so many different action points. There's a good couple of bosses to take on. There's lots of different kind of styles of moons to pick up, so different kind of mini games to go through to be able to pick up those moons. And so there's just so much to do and play in the Sand Kingdom, and it's a lot of fun making your way through all of that. So here you can see we're just in Tostarena village, I think. So we just found out that everything is cold, and we kind of knew that because of the ice blocks that are in the way. And you can see that kind of everybody's pretty chilly, and what would otherwise be a pretty balmy desert area is actually freezing. And so we're just going to head up and around here just to see what everybody's saying. Apparently somebody owed him some money, and you can see here is a few more purple coins to pick up, which we're going to grab now. So that takes our tally up to 12. We don't actually get all of the purple coins in this video because there are 100, and that would take forever. So at a later date we're going to try to condense it all down into one shorter video to be able to take on all of the purple coins. But for now you don't really need to get all of the purple coins. You just kind of need to be able to progress to the later levels. So here we are in the Crazy Cap shop, and here you can see just with coins what you can buy, which isn't so great. So apart from the boxer shorts, there's nothing really there that I'd be all that kind of interested in getting. But to the right of there, the kind of the purple coin zone is where you can buy some of the cooler outfits. And we haven't got loads of purple coins yet, but we're going to be able to get the sombrero, which is the first of the outfits that you can get here, and it just kind of keeps us in keeping with the location. It means we're just a little bit more in keeping, and actually when we've got the full outfit, when we've got the sombrero and the poncho, it will allow us to get a power moon later on. So we've got the sombrero, so now we're just going to go out and try to get a few more purple coins to be able to head back here and pick up the poncho and complete the look, because right now we just look a bit crazy in a sombrero and dungarees. So we need to head out and try and find some more purple coins to be able to match that up and stop us looking quite so nuts. And there you can see we've seen another little batch of them there, and you kind of see that there's lots of parts of the environment that you can kind of interact with. You can see we got onto the milk churns, and we also climbed up the pipe to be able to get those, and then we've got another one of these flowers to be able to get onto, which you can unlock by firing Cappy at it. So we're just going to try and do that now, and there you go, you can see the flower unlocks and you can get to the top. So we now have 10 purple coins left, and we need a few more to be able to get the poncho. So we're just going to try and do that and be able to get that, to be able to access the power moon at a later date. So there you can go, you can see more things trapped in the ice blocks or whatever they are. But we're going to go on a purple coin hunt. We've got 10. We need a few more to be able to head back and pick up the sombrero, pick up the poncho, sorry. So there we go, we've got 3 more, and I think we kind of need at least 2 more to be able to get back to the Crazy Cap place and be able to pick up the sombrero. There you can see some more purple coins trapped in the ice. So clearly we need to unlock the ice to be able to get all of the purple coins, or most of the purple coins anyway. So yeah, just reiterating how cold it is. So we got 13 purple coins. So we're just going to go back and have a little look to see whether or not that is enough for us to pick up the poncho. So hey, it turns out it is. We only need 10, so that's perfect. So we're going to get that and put that on. And we're not going to use that straight away, but at a later date, a later time in the walkthrough video, we'll be able to use that outfit to be able to get one of the power moons, which is quite a cool one actually. So we'll kind of get to that towards the end of our video. So stick with, and you'll see lots of power moons along the way. So now we're kind of heading off and going in to take on some of the main tasks. So we're just kind of doing a little bit of exploration along the way, but in general we're kind of heading over to try to get to the first part of the main task, which is a little bit further in into Sand Kingdom. But before we do that, we're just going to get this quick pipe power moon, which actually, if you've tried this already, you might find it's really difficult to get to. And the reason for that is the guy in the top right hand corner doesn't actually tell you that you need to power stomp on the block. Now, it took us ages to figure this out, so we skipped ahead. So there you can see us, essentially you move Mario where it rumbles, so you keep moving him in the direction that your rumble feature is working on your controllers, on your Joy-Con controllers, and then you do a power stomp on it to be able to get that moon. If you've been trying to get it for ages and struggled to work it out, that is how to get that moon. So it seems pretty ridiculously easy once you know, but if you're anything like me, you kind of took quite a while to work that out. So hopefully that saved you a little bit of time. So then now moving further into Tostarena village, I think. We're just going to head further into the game and come out of this village and head back into the main area. So just having a quick little look around to see if there is anything else we can quickly pick up before we head out. So you can see Mario shivering there and doing some jumps, but that's just that rocket that we saw was kind of hidden away, and we can't get to it while it is frozen. So there's not really a great deal else that we can do. There's plenty to do in this level. Like, even when you finish this walkthrough video, you'll still be able to come back and find new things. So it's just a huge amount of content, and this video is already like pretty long all by itself. So hopefully you'll get a bit of a semblance of what you need to do, and there you can see is where we're heading to first. So atop the highest tower is where we're heading to, so we can see where we need to go to on the map, and we're just gonna head out now. So you can see there's a little marker there, and you can see it's much further into Sand Kingdom, kind of around the middle zone of it. So that's where we need to go to next to be able to take on the main task. And you can see there's a few people along the way, and they're just going to give you little hints about kind of the crazy couple that came past. It's Bowser and the princess that came past, and clearly Bowser's on the hunt for the ring that is mentioned, and you can see his footprints in the sand. So clearly he wasn't here too long ago, and there are some little Goombas that he's left behind to kind of slow us down. But we're going to head into here, and this is the main area, Tostarena ruin entrance. So this is kind of quite a big area to get through. It's not terribly tough, but there's lots of things to get in your way, like these Goombas. There's lots of blocks for you to pick up. And there you go, just using the kind of spin cap move to be able to pick those up. And you can see there's a few coins to pick up along the way. So we're just gonna pick those up. Clearly, wailing away with the hat just doesn't work on that one. So we're just gonna do some stomps and then head up here to see what there is just around the corner there. And you can see there is a little platform thing here, and it's actually a pair of binoculars that you can take control of with Cappy as soon as we've killed that Goomba. And there you go, we've suddenly got an ability to zoom in on different areas, and because Sand Kingdom's actually quite big, it's quite useful to be able to see what's going on. And you can see atop the highest tower there is a moon that we can get to, and you can also see a huge chasm there and an island area in the distance, and you can see that switch that we tried to get to a little bit earlier, and you can see some more things in the distance there, and a little guy dancing around with his maracas. So there's lots and lots to take in, and you can see the upside down pyramid too. So now that you've been able to see what there is to do, you can see there's a hell of a lot to be able to take in to get even close to completing Sand Kingdom, let alone actually getting 100%. And this is, for me, one of the coolest things that you can do in the entire game, which is taking control of a bullet bill. And it's just amazing. They're a bit tricky to be able to navigate, and it takes a while getting used to that as a concept. But when you do, they're so much fun to be able to blast around in, and you can use Y to accelerate them as well to go a little bit faster. So we're just going to use one of those now to head out here, because we've seen yet another power moon. And there you go, we've managed to get that power moon, and we are heading back to the main area now. So you just kind of spin around and head back to the main area. So we're just going to head up past this now. We've done some wonderful bullet bill takeovers. We're just going to head up around here, pick up some coins, some spinning coins that are spinning just up ahead. And we're going to continue to try to get to the top of this area where we know there's at least one more power moon. So we're just going to kind of get that save area done, and we're just going to, we can see there's a little bit of something to learn. So the ground pound, apparently the ground pound can flatten bumps in the ground. So we're going to try that out on this bump behind us. So just jump and press ZL, and you get a load of coins. Now sometimes the rewards for doing that are better than that, so it is well worth doing, and we'll show you a good few examples of that as we get into the rest of this walkthrough. And this is kind of cool. This is like some kind of sand based eruption coming out here, and it looks more scary than it is. It looks like it may be lava or something, but actually it's just sand. And if you get stuck in the sand below, you've got to press jump to get out. It's very similar to Super Mario 2 in that regard, so if you've played that game then you'll kind of be pretty used to the whole sand jumping. So we managed to get over there relatively easily. It looked quite difficult, but actually it's pretty easy in the end. And we are going to take on yet another 2D action element. So we're just going to get into the beauty that is that through this pipe. So through the pipe, and we've got some more bullet bills, but obviously we can't take control of them in this version of the game because it's pretty much true to the original versions of the game, the original Super Mario games, except he's got a sombrero on, which is pretty cool. So just duck in to get out of the way of the bullet bills, and you can see we're just going to go and pick up the rest of these coins, and then duck in to let that bullet bill pass. Luckily it doesn't knock our hat off. You know, it looks like it should do, but it doesn't for some reason. Just going to grab a few more purple coins along the way, and we're back to 3D, and we're back to taking over bullet bills. So we're just going to head back round here, take out these blocks, because clearly there is something here, and it's another power moon. And you can see they're kind of in the most unlikely of places. You wouldn't expect one to be in just a random crate, but there is. So some are really tough to get to, and some are much easier. So you can see we're really going to have to work to get for that power moon, but there was one randomly in a crate along the way. So just when you think it's just going to be some coins or something, the game kind of really surprises you and throws out something else. And here we're going to need to get another bullet bill to be able to make it over to pick up the power moon that we just unlocked. So to get out of the bullet bill, you just press ZR, and there we can get that power moon from a crate in the ruins. So we can just stomp that block and also pick up that coin. And we're just going to head back through the main elements there to be able to get back into the main section of the game and head back up the tower, because there isn't an easy way through. So we've got to head down here and flick this switch to be able to bring that drawbridge up. And you can see there's a few Goombas coming after us, pretty wily. So we're just going to take those out and head back around to the main area of the game. Now we could try and run up there and run up the sand, but it's not kind of the best thing to do. So we're back to where we were a little bit earlier, and we're just going to go through those those coin rings and head up these stairs, and we are getting closer and closer to the top of this tower, and there is just this cool 2D rotating tower block thing to be able to take on to be able to make it to the top. So we're going to head into this pipe next. And you'll get to the top and get that power moon. So we're heading off in this direction now that we've picked up that power moon, because we can see another light block up ahead that we're heading for. You can see it just there in the distance, and we're just kind of staying out of the way of some of these things for the time being, because this can happen where the rings come out and get you. So we'll kind of come back and get some of those purple coins at a later date. You can see actually it wouldn't block. You can't go through those blocks yourself. So the only way to do that is by activating one of the switch areas to the right. So we'll come back and do that later on, but we're just trying to focus on making it through the main part of the game. And this is kind of, you can see how tricky it is. trying to navigate those, you've really got to get your jumps just perfect. And when one sets off the other, they keep setting each other off. So now you've got to get perfect jumps to be able to get past them. And you can see we've only got one heart anyway, so it got pretty close trying to make it through this element. So we're just going to pick up those coins, and we are here in another area of the game, which is Moai Habitus. So we're just going to try and take control of one of these dudes because they're pretty cool. And there you can see they will kick over the cactuses without taking any damage, but they are not impervious to the purple poisonous liquid in the middle. So don't go jumping in there with them. They kind of look like they should be able to do it, but they are not. So make sure you don't do that too often. So here we are, we've taken over one of these guys. When you put the shades on, sometimes you can't see it. It doesn't look like there's a great deal happening. However, as we'll see in a little second, there are places where it becomes important to be able to put the shades on. And you can see there's some birds floating, and there's actually a hidden block there. And by having the shades on, you can see that block. The only problem is, when you've got the shades on, they walk a hell of a lot slower. So kind of put them on, take them off once you know what path you're taking, and you can make it across. And there you can see there's just a few coins for us to pick up that you couldn't see a little bit earlier. And there you can see we've got to work our way around to the right hand side. And while it might feel like all this effort should give us a power moon after we get around to the right hand side, it actually doesn't. It gives us one of the mini moons that will eventually give us a power moon. So we just picked up 2 of those now, and we can see there's another one down there, and then there will be a couple more to get. You can see there's another one out in the middle of the purple ooze. So we're kind of heading around to get the purple oozy one next. You can see you've got to just walk out and get it. Because there is a block there, it's just invisible. So we're just going to creep out, pick that up, and that gives us 3 of the mini moons before heading back to the main sand area. So that gives us 3. We need 2 more. We can see there are some floating birds here. So the problem is we can't jump in this form. So we need to go back to being Mario. So back as Mario, and you can see you are able to jump on and walk across here to pick up these purple coins. And now, chilly there he is, we're going to head back and take control of the shades guy once again. So as soon as we can get close enough, he gets a bit freaked out and runs away. So we're just going to take control of him now and get 1 more of the mini moons, which gives us 4, and then we've got the last one to get, which is just around the corner. So we're just going to head out and do that now. So you just run around the corner and head and get the last little moon. And once you get the last little moon, you will be rewarded with the power moon, which kind of makes all the effort sort of worth it in the end. So we're just going to head around, and there you can see the final mini moon. And that gives us a sight of where the proper power moon is, which is just over here. So we're just going to retrace our steps up and over the sand dune and pick up that moon. And you can see again, you can see the kind of the shining beacon light up into the air to be able to pick that power moon up, which kind of guides you through the main tasks in the game. So we're just going to pick that up there. And then we need to find the next main area of the game. So we need to find the next beacon light up into the sky. So we're going to head out and try to hunt that down now. And kind of, if you just head around here, you should be able to see up in the distance a little help in the air and another beacon light. So we're just going to check that out on the map. And there you can see we need to get to the upside down pyramid. So we're going to fly a little bit closer with a fast travel, which takes us to the top area where we were not too long ago, and we can see where the pyramid is, and it is over there, which gives us a chance to be able to head out in that direction a little bit easier. So we're just going to take a running jump. Unfortunately, Mario can pretty much jump from any height without getting hurt, which is lovely. So we're just going to head up and head into the upside down pyramid. And you can see on the way there's somebody who might have a little bit of a message to tell us about who went in. Yeah, it is Bowser and the princess, and they were going after the binding band, which is the wedding ring that Bowser wants to give to the princess to cement their weird union. So we're going to head into the upside down pyramid, and this is the inside of the inverted pyramid. So we're just going to have a look around to see if there's anything that we're missing behind us, because sometimes Mario throws that kind of thing at you. And you can see here we need to take over some more bullet bills. So here we go, a little bit of bullet bill action. We're going to pick up the coins along the way, and it's easier to go in the face of the coins to pick them up easier. And then just press ZR to be able to get out of the bullet bill, and then we can carry on up and around here. And you can see there's some coins to pick up with these blocks, so we're just going to grab those now, and we're just going to take out these blocks too to see what else there is. And in all fairness, like all Mario games, you could explore so many different areas where we wouldn't be at all surprised if there are more blocks that you kind of can't see. But for now, we're just going to dive straight into this area here and go into the 2D zone. And while the 2D zone is very, very kind of true to the original games, there's also quite a lot of innovation to the game. So you can see here one of the cool things, in addition to Mario's sombrero, is these kind of gravity suspension devices where you can fly up to the ceiling and jump back down to the ground to get up and past the bullet bill streams that come firing out at you, which is a lot of fun. And there you can see kind of we didn't jump all the way down to the ground there because we assumed it would take you to your death, but you know, maybe it's worth heading back and investigating that to see if it does actually do that, or if there's anything interesting down there. But we're just going to head up into the main section of the game to be able to carry on and pick up the power moons that we need to be able to move on to the next area. So through that pipe, and we've got some more 2D action to take on. We've got a few Goombas that are coming at us, so we're just going to jump on those, grab these coins and make it through this area, because we've got a date with the top of this upside down inverted pyramid. So yeah, we're going to pick up some coins, but mostly we just want to get to the top of here and figure out what is going on without getting too hammered by Goombas, which is pretty pathetic really. So we'll try not to let that happen very often. So hopefully that'll be the last one of those. It's kind of weird jumping when you're upside down, guys. I don't know if you've tried this yourself yet, but it kind of is. But that's just one of the examples of the way the game has tried to make it a little bit more interesting, that you kind of go upside down, and it just kind of adds to the innovation that you kind of see in the 2D element of the game. So it is very true to the original, but equally it feels a little bit new and more interesting. And it's not just about having caps and being able to go from 2D to 3D, but it's also about the mechanics of the game itself. And there you can see we managed to take over one of the bullet bills and get a bit of a hit in the face, but we need to be able to break those blocks. So we also picked up a few purple coins along the way, and there you can see if you hit a bullet bill into a bullet bill, they pretty much just cancel each other out. But now we can take out some more of these blocks to be able to make it through, and that was kind of lucky because we nearly got hit again. And we're just going to take over this bullet bill and head over to the other side to see what's going on. And so as you can see over this side, you can see there is a block here that's worth taking out because it gives you one of these hearts, these triple heart packages. So we're just taking over one more bullet bill. We're just heading over to the middle here, and you can see it's kind of worth just standing here and waiting to see what happens, because by doing that you find a little secret area, and here there are stacks and stacks of coins. So we're just going to pick up all of those crazy stacks of coins, which we are loving. So we're just going to grab those now, and we're just going to pick up this crate, which is a power moon. So again, kind of there are a lot of power moons and secret items hidden all around each one of these massive environments. So that was kind of lucky that we managed to find that one, so it's worth you guys checking find that out too. And we come back out here, and you can see we clearly need another bullet bill to be able to get through to the next section, but we need to be able to see one coming to be able to get it. So there we go, we can get over to the other side now. Just try to power across, and you can see when we accelerate, the bullet bill uses the purple or blue flames, and there we go, we've made it across to the other side. Jump past this bullet bill and make it up here, and we are getting close to the top of the upside down pyramid. And up here we have got some more challenges to take on, so we're just going to see what's underneath all of these first, to see if there's anything that's worth getting, and just trying some crazy cat moves there, but you can see there wasn't a great deal, so we're going to head up these stairs and see what we've got to take on. So here we go, we're at the top of the upside down pyramid, and you can see there's a little heart there, so we're just going to grab that, which takes us up to 5. You can see the kind of the light shooting up into the sky to tell you that you're on the kind of main path with the main objectives for this early part of Sand Kingdom, and we're just going to have a quick walk around to see if there's anything else that we're missing along the way, because it is always worth picking up and finding hidden items, even though we've got what looks like a boss battle coming up. So here you can see a few purple coins under here that are worth picking up, which only takes our tally up to, I think it's more than 18, because we spent a good 15 on the hat and sombrero. But here we are at the top. As soon as you jump on there, you jump into a cinematic which throws up another one of these wedding planners, and she attacks with her weird hair and she throws these bombs at you. So we're just trying out using the hat on her to see if that works, but she's managed to throw out a big spike, and if you hit your hat at the spike, it fires back at her. So now she's got no hat on, she's got no protection, and you can jump on her head, but she obviously gets more difficult straight afterwards. So now she's firing out her bombs from what looks like some kind of alien spaceship, but it's actually a hat or something weird, which is quite cool. So now she's back in a normal form, but there's all these big flaming boulder holes in the ground for you to avoid. So just kind of keep staying out of the way of the attacks, keep trying to be able to see what she's doing, and here she's going out with another one of her hair attacks, and we're just trying to see whether or not we can attack her with the hat, but you can't do that until you incapacitate her first. So we're going to have to wait until she throws out her hair once again, which she is about to do after throwing some of these little bombs. So here you can see she's going to spin out her hair, get out of the way of it, find out where it is, and there you go, you can see the hat just doesn't work on her. So we've got to wait for her to do that once again to be able to fire it back at her face and be able to take her out. So you can also hit the bombs that come firing at you. So we're just going to try that now, but she's actually going to fire out her hair. So we're just going to stay out of the way. I think we got hit by that, but managed to get it with the hat. So there you go. Now she's suddenly easy to be able to get another hit in, and hopefully the next time that will complete this boss. So the upside down pyramid boss will be completed after this next hit, we're hoping. So she's firing out lots more of those little flame bombs, but we managed to fire a few back out of the way, and we're going to try and do that now with the next one, which hits her straight away, and now we can try and chase her down. But on this run she moves a hell of a lot quicker, so we couldn't quite catch her in time, and there you can see she's going to turn back unless we can get her. No, she's turned back, so you've really got to move quickly on that last go. So we're going to try and fire some of these little bombs back at her, and we managed to get it in the process by doing that, but there you go, we can try and get them out of the way. And here we go, she's going to fire in one more of her hair blasts, go after it, fire it back at her, and this time surely we can catch her. So we've got a little bit closer, and we managed to get the hit in and complete that boss and pick up the multi-power moon. So now we're back at the top here. We've picked up quite a lot of moons along the way, and you can see it is dark. It doesn't change a great deal in the dark, but just makes it kind of cool and twinkly and kind of sand zoney. You can see the moon in the distance, and there's some little weird ghoulies coming out of the ground, but we're kind of just ignoring that because we're moving on to the next part of this section, which was revealed after we managed to beat the boss, which is this big gap in the sand. So head over to the light that's shooting up into the sky, and you will go down into the gap and find yourself here in the underground temple, which was revealed when the upside down pyramid moved out of the way. So here you can find yourself on frozen ground, which makes it quite difficult to move as Mario because he slips and slides all over the place. So just kind of fire your hat to get those coins and smash out one of these little blasts. Make sure you try and jump out of the way, and it will take out those blocks there. So then you should be able to continue underneath, and you can see there coming out over the other side. And there's a Goomba in the way. There's another one of those little weird ring blasts, but you can take over one of the Goombas, which is kind of one of the funniest things we've seen. So what it means is you've got much more traction on the ice. So instead of slipping all over the place, their little shroomy feet allow you to move on the ice a hell of a lot better. So there you can see, you can't go through ice blocks, but you can kind of move around this whole area much easier when you're in Goomba form. So we're just going to head over here and have a look what's going on. You can see a big load of Goombas coming after you. So clearly we're going to have to take over those at a later date. But we're just going to head back and pick up whatever else there is back over this way. So you can see you can pretty much make it through the ice level much easier if you're in Goomba form. So we're just going to leave Goomba form, take out that Goomba and try to pick up those purple coins over there before we move on to the next section. So we're just going to come through, fire our hat at that machine and try and time a jump well enough to be able to get out of the way of that ring of power or whatever it is that comes firing at you. Pick up the purple coins, and we're going to continue around the corner next. So back, kind of tracking back the way that you came, head back up here, and you need to take over another one of these Goombas, or you'll need to take over a number of these Goombas eventually to be able to make it through this area. So we're kind of just heading up here and seeing what's going on, and you can see some coins, and you can see more of the power rings that would set off on the right hand side, but make sure you don't set those ones off, because if you do set those off, then you'll find yourself in a lot of trouble. So we've managed to take over a big stack of Goombas there, and essentially you just fire your hat at the big stack and you will take them all on. And when another Goomba comes, jump on top of him and you will get a little bit higher as a result. So we're going to try and get up here, but you can see we're actually too tall. So you can see there's a power moon over in this area. So we're just going to get close enough to be able to see if we can get to it. And you can see we're still not tall enough to be able to make it up to it. So clearly we need some more Goombas to be able to get higher in the air. So we're just going to head back, and you can see 3 more Goombas up here. So we're just going to try and get out at the top of here, and luckily we do manage to make it in and onto the Goomba and jumping down. Now ideally you jump straight into the Goomba, but we just didn't manage that. But there you can see we've managed to get out of this Goomba and over here, and we can see there's the moon that we want to get, and we're going to jump out of these 3 and try and make the stack that we've got tall enough to be able to get that power moon. So we just leave the main 3 Goombas, come down here, and we're just going to try and jump onto them to be able to make a stack that is big enough. And you can see it kind of didn't work perfectly, but we're just going to try and jump, and you just got to jump fast to be able to jump onto all these. And there you can see we've put the gang back together again. Took a couple of hits along the way, but it meant we were tall enough to be able to get that power moon, so well worth it. And it means we can head around this corner to move on to the next section. So we've got another power moon on the way. We've got a few things to pick up here, and while we could go back and try and instigate all those coins, it kind of isn't massively worth picking up those coins, we kind of don't think, because it means your Goombas would be taken out. And we need these Goombas because we need to take out and get some more of these purple coins, which we just about managed to stay on the block to be able to collect. So we're just picking up these purple coins, which takes our kind of spend tally to 25, but that would mean we've got, I think, about 40 in the level itself, which is nowhere near the 100 that you need, but it does put us a little bit close. So we're just going to spin open that flower and jump up to the next section, which puts us very close to the end of this area. So you can see we're kind of gonna need to get into a bullet bill at some point. So we're just going to head over here, and it's a weird looking bullet bill. So we just knocked over his hat. So if you hit it once, its hat will fall off, so it'll keep coming at you. So you've got to hit it twice with your own hat to be able to get past this. So as soon as we get into an angle to be able to get past these blocks here, we're just going to fly over and wait for another bullet bill. So again, we've got to hit it twice to be able to knock its hat off and take control of it. So you can see there we tried to move it in the right direction straight away. So we're just going to head straight on, trying to accelerate to get past these blocks as much as we can, because it's quite a big gap to get through. And then we just need to press ZR to be able to jump out of the bullet bill, and we are through and into the next area. And there you can see kind of what you've made it through and how impressive it all looks. Still a shivering Mario, it's still pretty chilly. And we're just going to head in here because this is kind of a big transition for Sand Kingdom coming up. And you can see deepest underground, there is a pretty ominous looking face up ahead. So we're just kind of jumping up here to see what is going on. You can't get down here for some reason, but we're kind of going to go around it and head over to the weird face that's up ahead. So we're just going to look behind us to see if there's anything that we've missed as ever, but we can't really see a great deal that we've missed, and all we've got is that weird scary looking face up ahead. So we're just going to head around and try to take it on. And if you saw any of Nintendo's World Championships, then you will have seen this boss in action yourself. So we've got another bullet bill coming at us, fire one at us and jump into the bullet bill, and that will take you into this main arena where we're going to take on one of the coolest bosses in Super Mario Odyssey right at the beginning. And here it is. It is a weird Aztec nose ring block of power that fires out its fists at you, and you've essentially got to dodge the fists and try and take over the fists with Cappy. Once you've taken over the fists, it's a case of trying to accelerate with Y to get past its protection and be able to knock it in the face and nudge it over there. So that's one down. We've managed to hit it once, and it is going to come firing at us again. So you need to dodge its main attack when it comes straight in. So kind of strafe to the right, move over to the right, and it will go back to sort of a similar attack, but this time dropping big ice blocks from the ceiling. And there you can see there is a heart underneath this one, so it's kind of worth trying to break it. And there we've managed to take over another hat, and it's a good idea to try and come out of the way of the attacks. And there you can see we kind of got blocked. You got to come around it and in to be able to get in a hit. So if you kind of come around one side of it and then arch back inwards, you should be able to get your hit in a little bit better. But as soon as you get a hit in, you've got to get out of the way of its main attack, which will really take away a lot of your strength. So get out of the way of those hands because they will clap on you. So just keep waiting for them to start to get into a place where they're about to clap. And there again, it's kind of thrown down some more ice shards, but when it's going to clap, you just got to move out of the way. And now we're back to the main, taking over the hands, and we've got one more hand. So we kind of figure we only need one more hit. So this move is really important, and we managed to get it in. So we've got another one of the power. And once you take out the fist block, you're sent back to the Odyssey to see if you've got enough power moons to be able to make it through to the next level. But it turns out that you don't by this stage if you followed along with our walkthrough. So we need to head back in and try to find some more power moons to be able to fire up the Odyssey. So we're going to try and head out to try and pick a few more up by doing a bit of exploration. So we've just headed back over here to the Moai Habitat. So we're just going to have a little exploration to see what we can find, to see whether or not there are more power moons. And we can tell you that there definitely are, because there are loads of power moons in each level. So we're going to head over here to see what we can see over the other side. So just kind of get onto the block, skiddle on over, and you can see there's another kind of a way to have a look up in the air. So we're just going to do that now to see whether or not we can grab anything. So we can see there's not much going on ahead, but there's this guy going crazy still. There's kind of lots of sand, obviously. Can't really see what that is over there. So not really a great deal, but what's over here? So we've got a few things going on in the distance here, so that's clearly of interest. So we're going to take that area on next. So we're just going to get out of the kind of the lookout function, and we're going to head out over the desert to be able to make it to that door that we saw in the distance. So just run over the sands, try and make it past all these cactus in the way, and here you can see a new area to unlock, and it is Tostarena Northwest Reaches. And you can see there's kind of a few things going on here, and there is the door to come back to, but we're just going to have a little check behind here to see what there is to pick up. And it looks a bit barren in all fairness, but you can see actually when you get around here there are a few purple coins to pick up, which are always useful and handy to find. So we found another 3 purple coins there, and now we're just going to head around to the front of this building and head on into that door that we saw, which we can only assume will hopefully lead to yet more power moons. So we're just going to see if we can do anything with that weird looking kind of looks a bit like a bus stop. But anyway, back into the building, and we will hopefully be able to pick up a power moon on the way, and we've got more brilliant bullet bill action to take on. So we're just going to take over one of these bullet bills and head out. Now bear in mind that this whole area is actually a little bit tricky, so you really need to watch where you're going and make sure you don't fall into that purple killer water there. And once you make it over here and pick up the rest of these coins, it's just a case of getting into another bullet bill and heading up down the right hand passage here, where you will find some more coins to pick up and 6 purple coins, which are well worth it. But bear in mind this is quite a tricky area to be in, and it's easy to lose a life here. So you can see you've got bullet bills to take on, and you've also got to try to keep moving without hitting the wall and picking up those coins. This is quite a tough area to make it through, so you might lose a few lives trying to make it around, especially with the killer water below you. But then next, having got the purple coins to the right, you need to head up the left-hand passage and make sure you keep getting off your bullet bill and finding a new one, because they don't last forever. And when you do get a new one at the top of there, it's time to head down and around here, because there is yet another power moon, so it's worth heading around here to pick that up. And as you've done all the way through this little section, you just got to jump out of your bullet bill to get into a new one, and make sure you steer your way around without hitting the wall. If you hit the wall, your bullet bill goes and you fall into the water, which takes a life. So back around here, and again we're going to jump out of that bullet bill and find another one, and we're just going to head around this area and make sure you stay away from all the moving kind of gates that you've got to navigate through, and you've got to make sure you follow the movement of those gates. And once you get through this last one, which we only just did, it's just a case of going up and picking up yet another power moon, and that is that area completed. And now we can go back through this pipe and find yet more power moons to try to pick up on the outside. So we've got to do a little bit more sort of hunting around to try and find them, and you can see we've got something going on here with yet another one of these weird scarecrow like creatures, which throws up a time-based kind of activity to do. And here you've got to get into the middle, duck in, and you've got to kind of shimmy your Joy-Con controllers to be able to roll underneath there, and then you've got to double leap off the walls to get to the top. It's a bit tricky and takes a little bit of practice, but hopefully you can pull it off too. And then we're just getting back into the wires and going for a bit more of a search of where to go. So we've just been down there, so we're going to head back up to the top of the upside down pyramid and see if there is anything else that we are missing up here. So we've kind of had a good look around earlier, but things kind of appear later on, and here is one of those. So you can see, there we go, we're trying to catch up with this, and we tried a number of things, but you need to throw your hat at it when you get close enough, and then you can ground stomp it and pick up that moon. So that that gives us yet another moon, the lurker under the stone. So that's quite a nice number of moons we've got now, and we're getting very close. We've already got enough to be able to power up the Odyssey, but we're just going to pick up a few more moons before we head on to the next area. So we're just trying to work out which way to go. We kind of think heading back to this central area is a good thing to do, and you can see something new has arrived, and we can take control of this guy, and it's a bit tricky to get the flight right. Don't press down, don't press up, just fly normally and use left and right to be able to guide him on top of here. And when we get on top of here, you can, number one, you can unlock a new fast travel area, which is the Jaxi Ruins, and you've got these two chests to open. One of them gives you a wonderful power moon. So that is that one done. Thank you very much, Mr. Gliding Lizard Dude. So then we've got another power chest to pick up, which is just a few coins. And then we're gonna jump off here and see what else we can find around these Jaxi Ruins. So you can see kind of that's been quite useful there. And we're just looking for a way to jump down, and make sure you don't jump into the purple water like we did, but we've managed to make it to the bottom normally in the end. So we're just kind of having a look around here, and you can see circling this purple water is this eagle. And what you want to do is, when it's passing by close enough, is hit it with your hat. When you hit it, it throws out another power moon. Now you're going to need to lose a life getting it, because throwing your hat at it just makes it spin. So we're going to have to jump on in here to be able to get it, unfortunately. So here we go, jumping in to lose a life, but it's worth it because we pick up a power moon. So good effort all round, but that did lose us a life, which is, you know, not too big a deal, but kind of annoying nonetheless. But anyway, we're back up here, and we're just going to keep heading out to see if there are any more moons for us to pick up. So jumping back down to the sand around here, and we're just going to head up and see what's going on through this little divide in the walls ahead to see if there's anything useful for us to grab there. Kind of looks like there's an opportunity to do some wall jumping anyway. We're just trying to get that lizard, but it doesn't look like you can. So we're just going to jump on up here and see what we can find at the top, which is always nice to do some wall jumping. So do a little bit of that, jump up to the top there, and you can see it unlocks a few coins. So we're just going to head back and grab those, and we're going to keep on looking for more power moons. So we do have enough, so if you wanted to quit this and move on to the next kingdom, then you can do, but we're going to keep looking around for a few more power moons before we head out, just because we want to try and get as many as possible here as we can. We're going to do a little bit of fast travel up here and see what else we can find. So we're kind of getting close to the end of this walkthrough video, but there are a few more power moons to pick up, so stick with us and we will show you where to find them in the next little section. So we've made it back up to this central area, and we can see there's quite a bit going on down there potentially. It looks pretty busy, so we're just going to head back down towards the main area, and there you can see actually back there is a power moon. So we're just going to head back and try and jump off, and there we managed to do it. So if you get down to the bottom, just head back up, jump off, and that gives you another power moon. So unfortunately we can't jump back into the electricity wire, but we can jump down here and see if there's anything else that we're missing out on. So we're just going to stomp this ground area here as soon as we've got this Goomba out of the way, and just pick up whatever it gives us, which it turns out is just a coin. And we're just going to head out to see what else there is to find. We've already taken this this fast travel point, and you can see that by an M over the top of it instead of a Bowser sign. So there's another one of these ground stomps for us to do, which gives us a few more coins here, and from here we're just going to have a look around to see whether or not there's anything else we're kind of missing in the vicinity, because those power moons are hidden in some of the craziest places. So we couldn't see any, but we're just going to head back, and you can see what's happened to some of these kind of ice blocks. They've started to melt, which kind of makes me think they're not really ice blocks, they're some kind of other material, but they have melted, and some of them have melted entirely. So we're just going to head back around, and you can see here a little locked door for us to go in. Now you can also see that we've got a sombrero and poncho on. You will need both of these to make it into this door. So if you haven't got them, head around to the Crazy Cap shop and buy them, and then you can go inside. And once you're inside, it's kind of a world of crazy where all the locals are just having a little dance, and Mario just needs to make it to the middle section, play a little bit of guitar and do a little bit of a stompy dance there, and eventually he will be rewarded for his efforts with a power moon from Mr. Maracas over the side there. So you're just going to head into the middle and pick it up. So that's yet another power moon. Next up, we're going to head back out. He looks pretty happy to have picked up that power moon. So we're just going to head out and see what else we can find. So we're getting pretty close to kind of coming to the end of this walkthrough video, but there are a few other little things to find. So we're just going to see what else we can pick up. But you can also see that even though we picked up a hell of a lot of stuff in Sand Kingdom already, there's way more exploring to do. Well, maybe not way more. There's a bit more exploring to do. There's plenty of more purple coins, for example, to find, and there are bound to be the odd one or two power moons to pick up. But we're going to try and pick up a few of those now. We're going to take a ride on this dude, Jaxie, who is a weird kind of statue lion thing that can gallop around the desert. So we're just going to get into this dude and see where he can take us. So this is a good way to speed around the desert, and essentially you just jump on the back of him, take control with jump on the back of him, yeah, and head out to try and see what you can see. And he just kind of gallops around the desert, and you can see we've already found a little section here which is well worth exploring, and it is the desert oasis. And you can see there's some purple coins under the water straight away, so we're just going to grab those by pressing B to duck under the water and swim. So just got those purple coins. And you can also see just around this corner when we jump out a Lakitu. So we can take control of him and do a little bit of fishing. So we're just going to head around, and essentially you've just got to dangle your hook in front of the biggest of these fish that you can see under the water there. Wait for your Joy-Con controller to vibrate to indicate that it's taken it, and then pull up your right controller to hook it up. Now you'll need to also press your L directional button away from where the fish is to be able to reel it in, and you will get that power moon. So that's another power moon picked up, and there's just a little bit more to do in this area. So kind of if you head around here, we're just going to try and have a look to see if there's anything here. We're also going to have a look up in the tree line. So we haven't had a look up in the trees yet. But you can't see anything there, but you can see something in the distance there we kind of caught a glimpse of. So we're just going to head around to have a little closer look at what that is next, to see whether or not it gives us anything good. So we need to get up into the tree line, so we're just going to activate this power flower thing to try to see what's going on. You can see there is some kind of thing going on over there, so we're just going to do some climbing up around that corner and try to see what it is. And you can see it looks like a note, and we've seen in previous Mario games that notes indicate that there's some kind of trail for us to follow. So we're going to head over there and pick up that trail now. So just head on around and jump up into the tree, and you will be able to jump up and pick up these notes. Now it's actually really tricky to jump from leaf to leaf without falling off, and the timer is really short, so it might take you a few times to get this right, but it's worth doing because you get yet another power moon. So now we've got another power moon here, we can jump up and pick it up next. So we're just going to grab that now and see what else we can find before heading over to the next kingdom. So we've only got like a few more minutes left in this walkthrough video, so we're back here in the main village, and we just jumped into the electricity wire again, and we're just kind of having a look around to see what else there is. So we're just heading back up to this main central area at the top to see if there's anything else for us to find, and we're just going to head out over on this block because there was a few coins that we missed and a few little things that we didn't do. In particular, I think we saw some purple coins for us to get a little bit earlier, so we're just going to activate all of these as we go. So just head left and right, throw out Cappy, and he'll do his damage, and do that again. And here you've got to make sure you time your jumps right to be able to knock those out of the way, and we're going to do that one more time over here so that we can head over to the left here and pick up those purple coins. So you're just going to jump over onto that block and pick up those purple coins now. And then it's a bit tricky, but you kind of need to be able to get all of those. So you will need to move, and then we're just going to head over these blocks now to get over this section. Now you can also try to get these coins too, which will then smash these blocks, but it does trigger them all, so you'll need to time your jumps pretty well to be able to avoid all of them, because you can see it's not so easy. So here there's another one for us to jump over, and you can also see there's just a few more coins up ahead for us to pick up. So we're just going to do that now, grab those coins, and we are back in the Moai Habitat. So we're back here, which is where we were a little bit earlier, and you can see the toxic mark over the left hand side. So we know that water is not good to go into, but we can't really see a great deal to do. So we're just gonna head around to see if there is anything else for us to pick up along the way. So we're just gonna head back over here, and we can see that there is that switch that we wanted to do a little bit earlier. So we need to make it over to the other side to be able to do that. So we're just going to do a little bit of fast travel now to be able to make it over to the other side a little bit quicker, and then we're just going to head on over to activate that bridge. Now the bridge itself doesn't really do a great deal, but we figure it's worth doing just to be able to connect that area up, because we know we're going to need to come back to the Sand Kingdom at some point in the future to be able to pick up the rest of the purple coins, and to see if there's any more power moons that we need a little bit later in the game. So we just need to try to find that switch, which I think is just over in that direction. So we're just going to head over and activate that switch now, and we will be able to get back over into that Moai Habitat area over on the right hand side. Not that there's anything huge to do there left, but we kind of just want to be able to activate this switch because it's something that we talked about a little bit earlier in our walkthrough video. So now that we've activated that switch, we can just saunter on over into the Moai Habitat. And over here you can kind of have a little look around to see if there is anything else you've missed, and this is one of them. So this is quite a tricky piece to do, so make sure you kind of head out to the middle, pick up the key. You've got to remember where the blocks are that you've unearthed, and then head down to pick up the moon. Again, you might lose a couple of lives picking that one up, so it's a real tricky one. So maybe try to take your time and time your moves really carefully. So that's yet another power moon done, and that's pretty much all of the power moons that we're going to do in this level. And now we can go and activate the Odyssey. So there we go, we've fired up the Odyssey, we've got it all moving, and we can have a look at the next level that we can take on, which is a fork in the road. So now we've got the choice of two places to go to. We can go to the Wooded Kingdom, or we can go to Lake Kingdom. And we're going to decide to go to Lake Kingdom, which looks kind of cool. It's kind of a little bit ethereal, and it looks like there's a bit of trouble going on there too. So we will pick back up at Lake Kingdom in our next walkthrough, but for now, thank you very much for tuning into our video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment as much as you can, and we will catch you next time. Thank you very much, guys. Goodbye.